Okay, so this one is a little story time. And yes, I'm still in the process of getting my teeth fixed. It's not a cheap process. And no matter how much insurance I pay, I just don't got open appointments. So please endure it with me. And this is actually going to be a story time video. I know that usually I'm cooking and cleaning, and funny enough, I'm not in no desk or anything. I'm standing nicely at my window because I do love the lighting. So honestly, this time period last year is slightly incoherent, and not like my memory is not 100% like straightforward on the whole event of what happened this specific week. But I'm gonna give you like the overall story of it, and then maybe the questions leaves like give me your opinions over the whole subject in the comments, and then like maybe it'll trigger my mind to like maybe angles that I wasn't thinking about, or maybe it'll trigger stuff that I didn't, that I just, I don't know, simply can't remember. So last year, May, the end of May 2024, I finished closing my debts here in Israel. And apparently like there's this like bylaw to closing debts here in Israel is like once you close your sorry my nose once you close your debts, you have to like wait 30 days until your cases get expunged out of the system, and then it doesn't look like you're in debt anymore. And like that's a detail that I 100% forgot. I don't know how much I spoke about in my previous videos, but if you do know, in 2022 I came back to Israel to close my debts, and by May 24, I received my disabilities. I'm disabled, and I ended up taking the first portion, and most of the majority of the first portion of my disabilities went to fully paying off all my debts. Now, throughout the 2.5 years from 2002, I landed January 6th until May 24th. I was gradually paying off my debts. Like I was paying nice sums for the interest. I did end up closing a lot of like almost half of my cases because I had like 9 cases, and then I ended up having to pay last year 4 or 5 cases off in full. And now those was like amongst those 5 cases, I had 3 really big ones. So it took a really large sum of my first initial amount of my disabilities. A proportion, I'm just roughly throwing it out there because I don't like really talking about money that much. But okay, it's a little bit noisy right now. So let's relocate. I'm gonna find a new angle. I love my makeup today. I love my makeup today. Okay, let's see how this one is going. It's a little too short for my liking. How is this doing? I really liked that window angle. But you know what? I can just hold it like this for a moment and sit right here. I just moved into a new apartment. I didn't want to just do an apartment reveal video. I wanted to get it fixed up, so stay tuned for that too. But back to last year. So just for like comprehension's sake, but I'm not giving out accurate numbers, I received, let's say, 30K, and then closing out my debts was 25,000, and I had to pay that in full. And now I finished paying off my debts like, let's say, May 22nd, and then by May 26th I was trying to leave the country. Now me and my forgetful mind, I told you I forgot the 30-day countdown. And now I was already at the airport. And now the whole thing is those days coming up to like me trying to leave, I was trying to get myself like organized to depart the country because I was planning on going back to my children. They live in West Africa. They live in Ghana. I was separated from my children for 2.5 years in this overbearing race to close my debts because I was miserable for 3 years, poor, and I was going. I don't want to get into too much detail of how much I was very very, and not in a good place when I was there. The conditions was not at the highest rate, and I didn't have no income, and let's say I wasn't being a mother, okay, not in my way. So I came back and I closed my debts and everything is good and fine and dandy. Those days leading up to me actually, and why I'm telling this story time, what led up to it was even more insane. Like, I don't want to get into my disabilities too much and why I'm disabled. But I was like under a lot of fucking pressure, and again, I'm completely isolated. I don't have no family. I have family members that live in Israel, but I have no connection with them because they abuse me. So I have no intention. They physically abused me for a very long time. And then in 2022, I had an incident that they jumped me again and physically abused me. And there was a lot into that. So I was just like, no, I don't speak to them since 2022, and I have no intention of bringing them back into my life. So those days leading up to me trying to leave the country, I was under a lot of freaking pressure, like tremendous pressure. My attempt was to go get a rechargeable visa. Our post office here in Israel give you the ability. Now I have one here, and I can just like show you the example of how it looks. Luckily for me, the numbers are on the back, so you won't be able to steal my information. Don't even try, okay? So this is how it looks. And whenever you want to like put money on it, you just have to go to the post office, so you can do a bank transfer from your main bank or use your credit card to load money onto it. It's like a safer kind of way to make your purchases. So my intention was to go get one of those. After I paid the first portion of my disabilities came in April. And that's when I started paying off portions of my debts so I can apply for what they call a known debtor payer. It's like in Hebrew it's called חייב מוכר משלם, משהו כזה. And it means like basically the debtor is now acknowledged as he's paying off his debts. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna pay up until 20% of the debt itself, and that was in April, because once I filed those documents, if they approved it, and there wasn't no reason not to approve it because I was literally paying off massive amount of interest throughout a year and a half. And then secondly, back in July 23, they passed a new law that I wasn't even supposed to be having no limitations to exit the country because all my debts was under 50K. And then automatically from July 23, I was illegally held in this country. But that's a story for a different day. I was illegally incapable of getting my passport. So in April, I got the first initial amount of my debts. And then I paid off my debts up until 25% worth of them in April. And then by May, I received my second portion of my disabilities. And don't worry, if you ever question me, I can upload a second video and prove the receipts. So by May, they didn't approve my requests on none of the 5 cases to get that 25% expunged. Because if they would have approved it and acknowledged the fact that I was a debtor that was paying their debts, that 25% would have automatically disappeared out of the system. And those was the small amounts that I had left to pay off in April. And since they didn't approve my requests, and also when I tried to get the limitations of like, for me, there's like this one limitation that they have the ability to put on you is that you can't get your passport or leave the country. I was trying to get that also removed, and then in the whole system that she was like, she dead as just lied. And trust me, I still have the receipt for that until today. And if I ever go back up to that authority office for debt collectors, I can prove that by May 22nd that I paid everything off, I still had that limitation on me. I saw it on the list of limitations. Because one of the last documents that I took before I closed all these cases was exactly that. the list of limitations. In one case in particular, I wasn't. They still had the limitation of that I can't leave the country and I can't get a passport. And mind you, those limitations are illegal since July 23, and all my debts never surpassed 50,000, even after July 23. So I was illegally held in this country since July 23. But back to last year. So May 26, I tried to leave the country. And foolishly enough, I told you I forgot the whole 30-day limit. The banking app with a rechargeable card that I was using, it's called Nima. They automatically just canceled my card for no reason. Like, I have no idea. I had canceled orders from Timo. I before I left, I bought shit and stuff for a house, for my apartment in Ghana. So the last like 2 or 3 orders that I was supposed to receive got canceled. They were supposed to wire me money back. I never received that money because they just up and canceled my card. Just up and canceled my card. So I just have like 450 shekels just lost in their system, just due to packages. They got canceled and I never got my money back. So Nima decided that they're going to cancel my card, which made the whole app irrelevant. So the rest of my money I couldn't put on the app because I had no card to use. I tried to go to the post office and I was under so much pressure that I was just afraid. Like, I was in constant paranoia. The like level of embarrassment and paranoia that I was going through, a human mind cannot even comprehend. And mind you, again, I had nobody to talk to. For some reason, back in April, my father decided that he was just going to block me and prevent me from even speaking to my children for the second time in 3 years. For such a long time period. So I mean, like, even if I'm going through immense amount of stress, I can't even call and relieve my stress by talking to my children, because again, he's preventing me from speaking to my children for the second time in 3 years. The first time he did it was 10 months. This time around, he did it for like 4 or 5 months. He only unblocked me in September and then randomly gonna text me and then try and force me to come back to Ghana in December, like pressure me to come back in December. And now I'm going to get to why I was so fucking pissed off about that. So May 26th, I'm at the airport. And mind you, I have 10 freaking suitcases. Throughout the 2.5 years that I was in the country, I was stockpiling shit for me and my children. Now, the first time around 2022, I stockpiled shit. I lost all of it. Again, I was blocked from contacting my children. And even if I wasn't blocked, I was going through immense amount of stress. I don't know, thousands of shekels worth of stuff gone. Everything got stolen. And then this time around, I'm about to leave the country. I have 10 suitcases and 4 boxes. I was so fucking stressed over the fact that I only had like a certain amount of money in my pocket, because each suitcase over 2 was almost $250 that I had to pay. I was so fucking afraid that I wouldn't have enough money on me in dollars to pay for all of this luggage. This is, mind you, this is without the airline even limiting how many over luggage you can actually buy, which apparently is just 3 extra suitcases per plane ticket. So I was already 9 pieces over. Because mind you, again, I had 10 suitcases and 4 boxes. I took both the 4 boxes and I taped 2 boxes together to try and make them look like one box. Still didn't work because I was only down from 14 to 12. Still, the heck didn't fucking work. And I'm at the airport and stuff, and you know what? I decided, fuck it. 2 of the suitcases that I had were full of fucking work stuff. I'm an inspiring beautician. I do hair and nails, but I wanted to expand into eyelash tinting and designing, and eyebrow and eyelash tinting and designing, and eyelash fixing, and facial massages, and all that extra nonsense. So I was like, and pedicures and manicures and stuff. So I had a shit ton of stuff. I was gonna do body waxing as well. Like I was over prepared. Over prepared. Like 4 suitcases was just full of stuff for my children. Clothes, shoes, toys, decor for their room, for the apartment. Like I was like, you know what? I went berserk on Temu, and I made sure that there wasn't not one room, not one space that wasn't thoroughly designed, thoroughly designed. And I designed the apartment in my head according to a promise that my dad made me once. He was like, you know, whenever you come back, you're going to get the apartment that I live in right now. So I was like, you know what? I always kept that in mind. So I'm at the airport, and then first time around, I had to run around for like 10 hours just so I could find somebody that had a credit card to buy me my passport. Mind you, again, I landed in Israel with no passport, with a piece of document. It's called a leisure pass, because my passport got stolen in Ghana, and because of my debts, they wouldn't renew my passport. So I had to land in Israel January 6th with a leisure pass. I was running around this airport like a headless chicken, trying to find somebody with a credit card that was willing to buy my passport, because I didn't have a credit card. Because I was so fucking afraid I didn't go into a fucking post office to get one of those rechargeable visas. And Nima decided to cancel my card for no good fucking reason. Till this day, it's a year and a half later, they still haven't given my money back. And they got 450 shekels of mine in their system because they just decided to cancel my card. So I guess to managing to find somebody that, some sweet little African boy, not only did he pay for it with his credit card, he refused to accept the cash that I have to reimburse him. So he just basically just bought me a whole fucking passport. He just basically bought me a whole fucking passport. I was so fucking excited. I was so fucking, like, I cannot even explain to the universe how fucking happy I am. I was like, you know what? One hurdle down. I'm like 2 steps away from seeing my children after 2.5 fucking years. I don't know about you, but I was over the fucking moon. So I guess to get my passport and stuff, I guess to buying this plane ticket. I buy this first plane ticket. I'm about to board the fucking plane and stuff, go through checking and stuff. Motherfuckers gonna tell me, nah, honey, you can't board this plane. You ain't got no visa. So I ended up having to cancel the first ticket. I canceled the first ticket. I got my money back. All is well. All is good. Running around like a headless chicken, sitting around that airport for another 10 hours. I comes up with this genius ass motherfucking idea, and you know, I told myself, see, why my bitch ass ain't going to Ethiopia, landing my black ass there, and then finding one of my connections, one of my friends in Ghana, to give me a freaking entry visa, to have me an entry visa. Because you see, if my father didn't block me, I would have had one prepared. And maybe my dumb ass would have remembered that I needed to wait another extra 30 days to leave the country. And then maybe I wouldn't have lost 70% of my luggage, and I would have shipped it. I mean, I was already spending $250 per suitcase. Just imagine that, and like shipping fees at the post office. I probably would have ended up saving money. But I come up with this genius ass motherfucking idea. This black ass is going to Ethiopia. The fucking clerk at Ethiopian Airlines, this son of a bitch. I tell him, I want a plane ticket to Ethiopia. This son of a bitch going, and he knew it originally because he was the same dude on fucking shift. He the one that sold me the first ticket and canceled it and reimbursed me for the first ticket to Accra. So this same dude is still on shift. This motherfucker, he ain't gonna listen to a word that come out of my mouth. Motherfucker gonna issue me another ticket to Accra. Now I already know I ain't about to get no fucking visa from nobody. I was so spazzed out, my brain wasn't even thinking about my connects at that point. Only when I got to Ethiopia, I started running back names in my head. I was like, who the fuck can give me a visa right now? I think about my friend George. I'm sitting at this airport in Israel. My brain can't even fucking think about George. And now this motherfucker sold me a second ticket to Accra and I ain't got shit to do with it. I already knew I wasn't gonna get a visa. So I go back to this dude. I'm like, you know what? Can I cancel this ticket? Motherfucker gonna start barking at me. Motherfucker stressing me the fuck out. You know what? I was like, girl, try to make the best out of this ticket. Now I'm running around like a headless chicken in this country trying to figure out how the fuck am I getting out of this country? I honestly just wanted my money back. So at the end of the day, I pushed it. He sold me a ticket. I pushed it back 2 days. Instead of just because I don't even know why I was under so much pressure and why I didn't get the ticket canceled, but for some reason it didn't get canceled, and then I ended up postponing the date back 2 days. And now these whole 2 days, I know I ain't about to get to Accra. And now I'm trying to figure out what the fuck am I gonna do? Cause I already know I ain't gonna get to Accra. Initially, I didn't even want to go to Accra, but motherfucker gonna sell me this ticket to Accra. Yeah. So the next day, the night goes through, comes the morning and stuff. I'm trying to start getting this ticket canceled. They refusing to cancel the ticket. Now you can't say I'm about to get hit with a no-show fee or something, because bitch, I've been sitting at this airport for 3 days. Motherfucker refusing to cancel it. He like, nah, I ain't gonna cancel it. After I pushed the due date, nah, I ain't gonna cancel it. Well, he know he gotta give me a full refund. Nah, I ain't gonna cancel it. Call the head office. Let the head office give you your money back. I leave the airport, you know. Let me tell you, I'm breaking the airport rules. These motherfuckers got me breaking the laws and shit of the airport, leaving my luggage unwatched. Okay? I'm leaving the motherfucking airport. I don't even remember why I was running around half of the fucking central region. I don't know. But I was running around half of the central region like a headless chicken. Still losing money. Almost losing the rest of the luggage that I had. I'm already unloading shit. I already lost 4 suitcases by now. Okay. Anyway, motherfucker refusing to cancel my ticket. He ain't giving my money back. And just like that, $1,300 gone. 4 suitcases gone. Only after this motherfucker managed to get $1,300 out of me for that fucking airline. This motherfucker finally sold me this ticket to Ethiopia. Guess what? My black ass landed in Ethiopia. George won $800 fucking for entry visa because I ain't got a letter of invitation. And nobody can't catch my fucking father on the fucking telephone because this motherfucker decided he ain't answer nobody. I text him from my Ethiopian number. No reply. My child has no number. No reply. Okay. Fast forward this year. Two weeks ago, and now mind you, May 26th, I flew to Ethiopia. I came back. Ethiopian Airlines. December, I flew to Accra. I came back in March. Ethiopian Airlines. 2 weeks ago, I'm about to book a plane ticket instead of the apartment that I took right now. I was like, you know what? I got 6,000 K in my hand. I take my black ass back to West Africa in 6 months from now. I have way more than that in my pocket. I tried to book a plane ticket with Ethiopian Airlines to Benin. I can't. I tried 3 or 4 times to book this plane ticket. The payment won't go through. Third time in like 4 months. Since since April 25, until now, going on September 25, I tried to book plane tickets through Ethiopian Airlines, and I can't. They just don't accept my payments. How weird is that? And then when I sued them to try and get my money back, I lost the lawsuit. The judge said I didn't justify the amount. I didn't. But I unloaded suitcases because you say your airline said you have limitations. And then say I didn't justify it with all the luggage that I lost. How you just gonna let them get away with just stealing $1,300? And when when their lawyer comes up and she's like, yeah, the numbers that I got from the system and the numbers that are on the receipts, they don't match. She was like, I don't know, I ain't got no answer for that. The judge gonna ask her, why the numbers don't match? I don't know. Why you telling me she paid X amount for her ticket to Ethiopia that she used to go and come back? Why you telling me she paid X amount and then you bring it from the office X amount? She gonna tell the judge, I don't know. But the numbers don't match. Why they don't match? Why is there like a $10 difference? And then when I tell her the main office, I contacted the main office, and the main office said that they don't give money back. That's a cash register. That's where the cashier is at. That's where you book your plane ticket. That's who's supposed to give you the refund. When I tell her, she said no. She approved that he's supposed to give you our money back, and the lawyer gonna try and mock me to the judge. She ain't gonna try. She gonna mock me to the lawyer. Say, what are you in school? What do you mean she approved it? Bitch, what the fuck you mean? You trying to be fucking petty with me over a fucking word when your dumbass don't even know how to explain why your office is telling you X amount of money and the fucking receipt is saying something else? You got time to joke about that, but you ain't got time to excuse these indiscrepancies? Don't get me started on that judge anyway. But these were some special ass motherfucking cases. But I'm so happy that I got this shit out there. And Ethiopian Airlines to me is just the most sus fucking airline on fucking planet Earth from this point forward. There's no fucking explanation why for this time frame of like 5 months I can't book a plane ticket. You the fucking people that stole money from me. So I don't know. And the motherfucker is still working there, mind you. December I flew out to Accra. Motherfucker is still there. He gonna fucking see me in the airport knowing that I probably about to board a plane with Ethiopian. This motherfucker gonna laugh in my face. He gonna sit across from my face and gonna start laughing. He giggling under his breath. Police didn't do fucking shit about it. Nothing either. Case got closed. Anyway, I'm happy to vent my shit. On to the next one. Stay tuned for my apartment review. We changing all of this. It's white. Very not me. Okay. Bye.